Well, hello again, everyone. I wanted to take a couple of minutes and briefly go through the core of the seminar. We talked briefly about the introduction and the ending, really how vital those are to keeping the flow and really the ability to have those attendees want to come in for a seminar appointment. Usually they're at the point when you get into the core of the seminar where you might find a few of them that start to nod off, and that's okay, as long as you can begin to gather their attention again, have some interesting things to talk about. And what we're trying to do, obviously, in the core of the seminar, regardless really of what you're talking about, is you want to try to lead those attendees to a decision. Have you talked about enough and have you motivated them enough to be able to make a decision that they feel that it would be worth their time to come and see you? And so really the core of the seminar, again, regardless of what you talk about, needs to follow basically the premise of three main steps. And the first one is that we want to identify some problems that are out there that exist. And they may not know these problems exist. Maybe they've come because they saw in your invitation some bullet points that you identified some problems. But we may arouse in them the fact that they've never heard of this before and that the problems are out there. Maybe that's why their performance has been poor, or they've just ridden the roller coaster ride of the stock market recently. So some problems that you could help them identify would be problems maybe with mutual funds, maybe problems with taxation, maybe problems investing. Maybe they think that they need to invest in bonds and receive interest, and that's the best way that they can see that they've been told to generate income. Maybe the problem that exists is not having things like exit strategies for the stock market or even the bond market. And so that's the first step is just identifying with them some problems that exist out there. And maybe you have some different things that you'd want to talk about, but you should have some core things that you talk about during that, we'll call it the meat of the seminar. And then really the next step that you want to talk about now is to make the problem somewhat of an irritation to them. And so maybe you talk about mutual funds and you give them some third-party information that in order for mutual funds to do as well or even try to outperform the stock market, typically they have to take on a little bit more risk. And of course that's going to hurt them when the stock market falls. When it goes up, as Warren Buffett says, the tide lifts all boats. But a lot of times in this environment, especially over this last decade, people are concerned about losing money and stability. You might be able to irritate them by giving them the average expense ratios on mutual funds and information about maybe from third-party subscribers that the performance compared to the benchmarks, how many of them underperform the benchmarks. Things like taxation. I mean, you can go on and on. You can talk about how most advisors or a lot of advisors out there are buy and hold fanatics and how that's really an ideology that really, if you look over the past 50 years, buy and hold has only worked less than 50% of the time. And so is that an ideology, or is it something that's been just embedded in mainstream media and hierarchy at some of these big wirehouses to keep people from selling? And thus not having exit strategies. Maybe your advisor is not helping you. Just some things that you can get that irritation going. And then of course the next thing then is you're there to provide the audience with solutions to those kind of problems. So you can give them brief, somewhat vague, but to the point descriptions on what's better out there than mutual funds. Maybe you are a formulaic or quantitative nut like our firm is, and so you have some strategies that are quantitative in nature that remove emotion but have some embedded risk tolerance to them, or exit strategies. And those are things that you can talk about to kind of provide the solution to that problem that you've identified and then irritated with them a little bit. And so what we want to get here and remember here is that the core of the seminar should really be in three different parts. You should identify some problems provide them or irritate them with what that problem is, and then provide them with some solutions to those problems in your seminar. And then remember, the beginning and the ending is really those important times when you want to be on your toes and alert. And a few jokes here and there don't hurt, kind of keep things livened up. But hopefully that'll give you a little bit of information in short about the core of the seminar, the meat of it, and how you should build that seminar. And of course, if you want a look at a seminar, we have one on advisor control, and we'll be doing seminars coming up this fall. In our area, the fall is a good time to do seminars, so the fall of 2009 will be where we'll do some live seminars. Jason will be doing those, and you'll be able to see exactly how those are done. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.